Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our first guest is an expert in reading body language and is here to help us avoid conflict and make everyone feel at ease during the holidays. We welcome back behavioral investigator Vanessa Van Edwards.
Nice
as Dave continues to eat his pie.
Yes, I love it.
He's gone through now 1.5 pounds.
I can see he's getting full.
Yeah.
No more, but it's good. It's good.
And this all relates to the Thanksgiving table and the stress with the families, but you are our body, we can see what people are thinking about by looking at their body language. So one of the first things you say is to use mimicry. Explain how that works and why you would use it.
Yeah, so a lot of people, it's funny, you would think people ask you, when are people lying to me in the workplace or when I'm with friends? Actually, the most common question I get is, how can I tell when my family is lying to me? How can I read my family's body language? Because people go home, they're eating a lot of food, emotions are running high, maybe they're traveling. So mimicry is the first thing that I suggest, and mimicry basically means mimicking or slightly copying someone else's body language. Exactly.
Just doing this.
And yes, it builds rapport. Actually, on really good dates.
Yeah.
I knew that would stop you. So on really good dates, you actually subtly do this with the other person.
So you don't, but you're not even conscious of it.
So when you are trying to build rapport, so like let's say that you're a new girlfriend, you're visiting the family, or you're a host and you're welcoming some people into your home, a great way to sort of make everyone feel at ease is to slightly copy their voice tone or their body language. You don't want to be obvious about it, but for example, if someone's speaking a little bit slower, like a grandma or an aunt, you can sort of go back down to their pace and talk at their pace.
Good point.
And it makes them sort of feel at home. So
you're not mimicking their body movements so much.
Right. It's more just sort of the way that they are.
Okay.
And that's a great way to sort of make people feel welcome.
Meet them at their level of energy and okay, very good.
And it's also good if you're wanting to see if people are getting along. You can see how closely they're mimicking each other's body language without even thinking about it. That's a really good way to tell if a date's going well. Or
we were just talking this morning that one of the great recipes for a disaster is to have turkey and pie, and then mix in politics, you're going to have arguments.
That's right.
And so you say there are ways you can look for tension levels, and maybe when people are on the edge of perhaps arguing.
Yes. So there's defense cues. There's defensive cues on the verge of fighting. So one of them is the when people put their hands on their hip and sort of set their legs wide. That is the universal expression for I want to get in a fight or I'm feeling defensive. So if you see, one of your kids or a grandma or an aunt or uncle get into that position, time to serve cake.
Yeah. Change the subject.
Let's have some hot cocoa.
Change the subject.
Bye, everybody.
You also say to watch for lip pursing.
Yeah, so lip pursing is, my grandma is, and she doesn't mind me saying this, is the queen of lip pursing. Lip pursing happens when you're trying to hold something back, so you kind of go,
Yeah.
And so whenever we do something that she doesn't really like, grab a roll off the table or put our elbows on the table, she's real old school, she'll sit there like that. So this is actually a great thing to watch for because if you're the host, you want to see if people are holding anything back. And then you want to decide, do we want to hear what they have to say?
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. So either you change the topic or you say, Helen, what are you thinking? Or, that's where you can sort of bring up, maybe get them to open up a little bit more.
What are some other cues you can look for body language that people are maybe, in an argumentative mode? Yeah,
so other than the hands on your hips, there's also something called the chin jut. And when you're in a bar, you always know that when someone goes, it's like they're about to get in an argument, men especially.
Yeah.
So if there's a tense topic that comes up, politics, religion, moving away, marriage, whatever it is in your family that's a tense topic, watch for that chin jut. And yeah, when you see someone go, well, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
They'll kind of do that.
Right.
Again, dessert time.
Yeah.
More wine, anyone? That's a good way
What do you think of that cute cat video?
Yeah, exactly.
And you did the battle stance.
Yes.
And then you say, also, too, if you're hosting, there are other things we can do as well to make people feel comfortable.
Right. So it's hard to be the host, right? You want everyone to think well of your home. You want to make sure the food goes well and everything's smooth. So a couple of body language things you can do to also make it run smoothly is try to avoid crossing your arms. It makes you look very defensive and also puts other people, makes them sort of tense. So, let your arms loose, smile and direct eye gaze. A lot of the times, when people are nervous, they're sort of looking around. My mom is always, she's half cleaning the dishes, half putting things away. Sit and talk to people, smile, direct eye gaze. That always actually shows that people's heart rate goes down when someone is directly eye gazing you and smiling.
Can people use these on themselves? In other words, I can tell I'm appearing argumentative, or I can tell that I'm not, welcoming as much as I should be. Are those cues also true for them, or should they be able to get that internally.
It absolutely works that way. So if you feel yourself sort of getting a little bit emotional, you want to go into sort of more open body stance. This one, when you put your hands out, this is actually a universal gesture for I'm open-minded, everything's fine. So if you feel yourself starting to get a little bit riled, to go, let's all sit down in the other room,
right.
or let's play a game. That in itself can be sort of a self-mod. Yeah, exactly. For your own emotions.
In body language, when someone touches another person, is that comforting or more stressful?
So it's an interesting question. From your wrist to your shoulder, the higher up you move on the arm, the more intimate the touch is, because it's closer to a hug. So, for example, in a business environment, you would never want to touch someone right here. It's very intimate. It's better to say, if you want to touch their elbow,
right.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Right.
That's better. If you're in a family,
but this is not.
That's a little bit more intimate because it's closer to your heart. It's closer to sort of your vital organs. So in a family, if you want to be intimate, you can sort of put their hand here and say, "Oh, it's so good to see you."
Right.
But if it's a new person. Elbow touching is a little better.
Well, I like all of this.
Yes.
I like it all. I do.
We'll put the tips
Always
on our
good
website
tips.
at k2.com. Thank you so much. Always
Would you like
fun.
some pie?
No, thank you.
Keep eating, Dave.